super excited about this next guest. He is a 2-time NBA champion, 11-time NBA All-Star. Very soon, he is going to enter the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. His new book, Letters to a Young Athlete, is available now. Chris Bosh, thank you for coming on the program.
Man, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Chris, one of the things that's evident from following your career, from reading your book, is that you are a reader, a voracious person who takes in information. What made you decide to structure your book in the way that you did, as missives to your younger self?
That's kind of been a question a lot of people ask. Is it to my younger self? I think we all see a younger version of ourselves in younger people that we admire, right? Some talent that is there and that's either just getting through or dormant. And not even if that person is younger, just someone with a possibility inside themselves. And so we felt that the letter aspect was very, very personable. During that time, I remember amongst all of the classics, I was reading letters from Seneca,
wow.
Every now and then. Yeah. So I was we were kind of in that vibe, but it was something about that was encapsulating about writing a letter. And, especially today with instant messaging and direct messaging and social media and email, letters are kind of a defunct technology, but it still works, so I thought it would kind of be nostalgic, but very, very personable. I want people to feel like I'm writing it to them.
So you mentioned Seneca's famous collection of letters. I can't pronounce it in Latin, but that brings me to a really interesting part of your book and just you and your career. Chapter 4 in the book is about cultivating the mind, and it's about, for you at least, it's about breaking this like dumb jock stereotype and finding different influences and things that'll inform whatever it is that a person chooses to do with their career. You talk about that, like how is that informed what you do, whether it be your athletic life or your post-athletic life?
I mean, it's all about learning and wanting to get better. I mean, I can't even describe to you why I do the things that I do. It's just in me. I just wanted to do it. Like, I talk about this in my book. Like, why are you doing this? I remember someone asking me, why are you working so hard? And I was in the pros.
Right.
I was in the pros. I'm not an MVP. Sure, I'm an all-star, but it's certain things that I have not attained. And I see my vision is so much more time and space in between where I am now and where I want to be. And so, like, I've had people ask me, why are you working so hard? That was such a crazy question to me. I was like, I don't know. How do I answer that question? You just do it. And I'm very much in tune with wanting to get people to get that out of themselves as well.
What are some of the things that you've read over the years that have just impacted you in some way, awakened something in you, changed the way you think?
The Way and the Power. It's a pretty deep one. I don't even think they print those anymore, but it was this Japanese philosophy book on the samurai, the philosophy of the samurai. That's when I was trying to win championships and like all the way into the moments, bro. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. That one always stuck with me because that's just such a great thought, right? Man, the obstacle is the way. I have a lot of obstacles right now and I want to run the other way, but no, I'm going to run toward them. And I'm going to work on myself to get around them or climb them or break through them, whatever I need to do to overcome it, I can. Grit by Angela Duckworth. That's a good one. That was one of my coach, Eric Spoelstra, head coach of the Miami Heat in the NBA. He would always gift us books during Christmas. And that was one of the books I would actually, I read the books he sent just because I knew, and then we challenge each other, we debate during the season and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun. He gave us that book, and I really got a lot from that because, at the time as going through the rigors of being a professional athlete, it gets lonely, it gets tough, It gets hard. You have, just like anybody else trying to be a good professional, you have to fight through these things, and I found myself doing that. And I got to go with Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, because that's like everybody knows that one. That's a household name. That book, especially for readers, that's like the book, like Outliers. It's like that's the one. And I'm a Harry Potter fan too. You know what I mean? I can't leave Harry Potter out. Harry Potter and the Hunger Games did all that too. I got that side to me too. Just got to put that out there as a disclaimer.
What's your favorite Harry Potter book?
The Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire is great.
Yeah,
it's a sport. A lot of sports in that, so that makes a lot of sense. A lot of competing.
Deep, you know what I mean? It's like, I tell people like, yo, he was in the maze for a very long time, and the movies is like 10 minutes. They were in there for a while. It was wild.
Speaking of your sports life, when you look at the NBA landscape in particular now, and just thinking about the things that you're a part of as a member of the Miami Heat, a team that really kind of set the tone for, I think, what the NBA would become in terms of talented people joining forces, taking control of their own careers, taking agency in that way. Mm-hmm. Do you feel any kind of pride for being part of a thing that helped change the trajectory of the way athletes engage with their sport professionally?
Yeah, we do. Unfortunately, my career came to an end.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think that story will be told until we kind of dissect the career of LeBron.
Yep.
Because that'll be our segue into it. I saw myself still playing as well. We're the same age.
Right.
So I didn't see myself being in this position. But yeah, I do think we have a lot to do with that, because it was just a brand new thought. It was a brand new idea. It had never been done in that context before. Sure, the Big Three in Boston happened, but man, a lot of strings had to be pulled to make that happen. They had to make like 2 or 3 trades. Yeah. And that's after, we all suffer in the pros on the road to greatness, but Paul Pierce, man, was suffering. KG was suffering. Just they caught the right moment. When does that ever happen? It never happens in sports, So they were in that way, in that aspect, and they set the tone for what you have to do, the talent that is required, and it's always been like that. But this was obvious, to win an NBA championship. So we took the onus on ourselves to say, okay. And it was a new thing, like, hey, let's stay flexible. And just to be honest, as a young black man, everybody did not like that.
They did not like it.
Yeah,
they have issues with it. They have issues with it today when people today try to do it.
It's just like, whoa, I mean, come on. I mean, it's free enterprise, right? This is the land of capitalism. Not to get too deep or anything, but this is America. And we are all business people, and especially now we're in the age of, decentralization is a topic. Not to say that they're the same, but things getting disrupted always happens. Right. And at the end of the day, it's a business. I mean, we hate to say it, but it is. It's a business. It is what it is. We all want to participate at the highest levels, but it is a business, and players have to make the decisions. We're just now being aware of that, just like the organizations have been making decisions since the inception.
I mean, as part of that, finding your place in this kind of like new era of disruption, when it feels like so many of the way things have been run for a long time are kind of like fraying and coming apart. Is some of that your inspiration for writing this book? not only just trying to find these nuggets of wisdom that you could pass on to other people, but trying to find your way through it on your own? Like, do you find yourself working through ideas and things as you're writing this book?
Oh, hell yeah, man. It's funny you say that. You've been the first person to actually ask that question. Yes. Me and my friends and I, we have a funny saying. In writing a book about obstacles, we had to, get over obstacles writing the book.
Yeah.
So I was living out real time. I want people to understand that. Like, this isn't coming from me standing at a podium telling other people what they need to do. This is me telling you what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But use the lessons from back in the day and kind of reflect, doing this weird reflection when I didn't want to reflect.
Yeah.
I thought I would be playing as opposed to reflecting. And, I had to deal with that trauma and deal with that disappointment and that heartache. And so if people are struggling out there, I hear you. Not that our struggles are the same. All problems are relative. But if you can take one sentence from this book, it's worth it. All of these principles, and I wasn't trying to do it on purpose.
Right.
It was happening real time. And I'm so glad that we just stuck with it and kept going until we accomplished our dreams.
Was there anything while you were going through this process and writing, you mentioned like finding your way through it, where you thought this project would be one thing, but then as you're processing your own thoughts, all of a sudden maybe it became something else? Any moments like that?
Yeah, I mean, when the idea came to have a book,
Yeah.
that was crazy. I said, "What? Okay, you like that?" It was, I was just kind of, yeah, okay, great, let's do some more. It was just, it was amazing. That was an amazing accomplishment, and I had to learn how to be patient with myself, to learn how to, sometimes I think we can all get caught up in, is this something right now?
Right. Yeah.
Man, I have 5 kids, man. I had to start letting stuff go. Like whatever idea you have of a work day, of a project, of work, of accomplishments, come on. I mean, they're going to take up, rightfully so, their time. They need it. You have to mold them, and a great deal amount of my time goes to that. So like, I had to be aware of that and just appreciate when I do get to work or when I do get to play, man, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm doing, and wholeheartedly, I just love the process. And if people like it, if my close circle likes it, that's awesome. Yeah. Great. Okay, let's just keep this process going. It was an incremental process over 3 years, and I'm very proud of that.
Pat Riley wrote the foreword to the book, and it is one of the most Pat Riley things that I've ever read in my life. It is, I could feel him yelling at me and telling me to run wind sprints and do suicides through every word of it. And of course, your time in Miami, there's just so many driven type A, going for greatness personalities around, whether it be LeBron, Wade, Udonis, Coach Spoelstra. What being around people who kind of all understand drive for greatness in a certain way, but maybe slightly different ways. How did that inform just the way you go about your life and the way you went about competing?
Man, the thing about our situation was you heard not Dwyane, you heard LeBron, not one, not two. He was speaking.
He put it on. He put the heat on.
He was speaking in terms of our intention. That was our intention. We're not here just to win one, man. We're here to win multiple. We know that. We're acknowledging we know that because we know you know.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, we could talk about how I got spun out of control and all that stuff. That's fine. It made for a better story. But more so, you have to recognize where you are.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy. I think that's always a necessary. You don't have to do it, but I think it helps out because when you say that was the main thing that we said when we got there. Hey, we're here to win a championship. So this is the team that we have to construct. It's all about teamwork, communication, mental preparation. We've got to visualize ourselves doing it. This is what it's about, because at the end of the day, we want to win a championship.
Yeah.
Collectively, we are here to win a championship. And there's so many people out there that might be like, hey, I'm kind of in that situation too. It doesn't even have to be basketball. I don't know what your situation is, but if you're in that situation, it's like, yeah, we're here to be successful. What role do I play in this team? How do I make this team better? And what are we going to do today to get better? The messages are the same. So that was always the continuous message with that team. And ups and downs, it was hard. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard. You're not gonna want to do it some days. You know what I mean? Like, what? You want me to mop the floor? Get out of here, bruh. You know what I mean? No. I'm a programmer. Now, yeah, we need you to go to the programming building and mop the floor, but you'll be the person on the championship team. People won't want to do it, right? And then, okay, great. You're on a championship team. You were mopping the floor. You code? Oh man, come on over here. Yeah. Think about all of the things that people miss out on, So that's kind of, my 2 cents on just the situations and how they connect. It's all the same to me.
Just to kind of draw that connection maybe a little darker. I'm sure that you talked about you thought you'd be playing right now, and that your career was cut short in a way that you didn't expect. And it's great when we came on, it's great to see you. You look great. It's just great to see you.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure that there are, we've been through a traumatic time on Earth like this last year. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, who know you and might read this book, might pick it up, and who have obstacles in their path or dealing with situations where life has changed in a way they didn't expect. And now they have to figure out what's next. What could they find in your book, and what would you say as you've gone on your own journey has helped you find your way through this path of surprise, of a place that you didn't think you'd find yourself?
The most powerful book in the part to me was the conclusion. When I read the conclusion again, I was like, damn, I don't even read the conclusion. I need to start reading the conclusions more, because like this one is really good. I keep forgetting how good it is. We did a good job. Only because I forget how it ended myself. I forget the harshness of the truth.
Yeah.
And that is my last, I won't spoil it, but that's one of my last messages to the reader. And I always tell people, have every situation. It's tough to say like it's your last. How cliche is that?
Right, of course.
Damn, that really happened to me. When the coach says, play every game like it's your last. Like, take it easy. Yeah. Man, that really happened to me. Yeah. So, I just want people to enjoy what they do. And if you don't have that thing, I'm not saying everybody has it. I'm so lucky to have basketball, and so much to the fact where I'm empathetic to the person who loved theater and didn't have theater class, Tons of my friends, that didn't have the same opportunity because of lack of resources. But I think we live in an age now where we can get rid of that thought. We can conquer that thought. We can do the things that we want to do. And as long as they're positive and you really connect with it and it speaks to you, oh man, I'm telling you, I lived it, man. And that's after, and don't get me wrong, I felt, I read a lot of books, and like after basketball was done, it's like, we'll do what you love. I said, man, get that out of here. My conscience told me right away, do what you love. Yeah. But man, I said, I didn't want to hear it because it was so simple, yet it's something that needed to be done. And I'm so glad that I followed it. I wouldn't have published a book, been able to be a part of a publishing team without it.
Finally, Chris, what are you reading right now? What's on the nightstand right now?
Right now, Promised Land by Barack Obama.
Oh, hello.
Woo! Boy. Masterclass, man. First Black president, I feel that it's a must read, not only for all human beings, but especially as a black man in America, I encourage all black men to read that. That's in our history, man. You know, we need to read that. And he's taking me to class.
Chris Bosh, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Congratulations on the book. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me.